Let's bring in New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, chairwoman of the House Republican Conference in the state campaigning for Donald Trump. Congresswoman, great to see you. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here in Wisconsin.
I want to start with something Jamie Harrison just told us, that he said in these final days of the campaign, the Harris campaign is running on hope and the Trump campaign is running on fear. Is that a fair account of the state of the race?
No. President Trump is running on his record of economic success, of his record when it came to national security issues, of his record on securing the border, versus Kamala Harris's failed record. We have a wide open border. It's impacting every state across the country. We have an economy where hardworking families are struggling, facing the highest rate of inflation in their lifetime.
What is the biggest challenge for Republicans in these final 2 weeks?
You know, our focus is making sure people know the importance of voting. This election is going to come down to turning out. Whoever turns out their voters is going to win this election, especially in swing states like Wisconsin. That goes for the presidential, the key Senate races, and also the House races. So I'm here today thanking our volunteers and getting out the message of the importance of voting, and that includes early voting, which is key in Wisconsin. That allows us as Republicans, when we bank those votes early, that allows us to communicate with those that haven't voted yet and undecided voters.
In-person early voting in Wisconsin starts Tuesday here. You're a big proponent of getting people out to the polls, this early vote, especially there in your home state as well. But how has Trump hindered those efforts of getting people out to early vote?
He has embraced them. I mean, he has cut videos encouraging people to vote early. At virtually every speech he gives, he talks about the importance of voting early. And he has worked with so many of the Republicans in various states to strengthen election integrity while also making sure that there are legal ways to vote early. Like we have in New York State, we have early in-person voting. That's how I've voted in previous elections. And the same goes for legal absentee ballots, which we have in certain states across the country as well. So get your vote in. The most important thing and the message from President Trump is bank your vote and vote. Just make sure to get your vote in, because it's going to come down to every single vote matters.
So that doesn't stop you in your tracks sometimes when Trump still comes out and says mail-in voting leads to fraud during his rallies?
Well, he is very clear that there needs to be a chain of custody. It needs to be legal mail-in voting. So in the state of New York, for example, that's legal absentee voting. It depends on what state you're from. President Trump cares deeply about election integrity. He's very concerned to make sure illegals are not able to vote and tamper with the mail-in ballot process. But again, we're focused on using your legal voting opportunities, whether that is vote in person early or vote by mail early.
You stumped in Ozaukee and Washington counties on behalf of the campaign. When Trump lost the state in 2020, he underperformed in some of the suburbs around Milwaukee and some critical counties in Green Bay. Has the campaign done enough to win back moderates in swing states, including here in Wisconsin?
You know, I think they have, and they're really winning independent voters. They are reaching out to all sorts of voters. We are not taking anything for granted, and the polls are moving in our direction, but we cannot stay complacent. The issues are on our side. People care about the economy. They care about the border. They care about our education. I went to a school today, toured, that talked about educational choice and school choice legislation, which has been a success here in Wisconsin, not just supported by Republican families, but by Democrat voters as well and independent voters. So on those issues, President Trump has a tremendous record. It's resonating with people that identify as moderates, even people that identify in some cases as soft Democrats, who have felt that today's Democrat Party has left them so far behind.
New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik in the state for a few hours, hitting all the key battlegrounds. Congresswoman, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.